The lobby of the Grand Meridian Hotel glowed beneath a cascade of crystal chandeliers, each one reflecting the morning sun in 1,000 directions. The marble floors stretched for nearly 200 feet, polished so perfectly that they mirrored the parade of bellmen, concierges, and elegantly dressed guests bustling through the space. To any outsider, this was the epitome of five-star luxury. In this place, every detail, from the scent of fresh lilies at the entrance to the gentle notes of a piano drifting from the lounge, whispered perfection. But today, something was different. Today, Olivia Carter, the 52-year-old CEO of the Meridian Luxury Hotel Group, was not arriving in a tailored suit with her usual entourage. Instead, he stood just outside the rotating doors. His 6-foot frame wrapped in a navy blue bellman's uniform, a cap pulled low over his salt and pepper hair. At 185 pounds, Olivia looked every bit the part of a new recruit, nervous, eager, and invisible among the sea of staff. His hands fidgeted with the brass buttons on his jacket as he took a deep breath, ready to step into a world he thought he knew. For decades, Olivia had been the face of the Meridian Group, building its reputation from a single boutique property to a global empire of luxury hotels. His name was synonymous with service, elegance, and innovation. Industry magazines called him a visionary, guests praised the Carter touch in every suite and spa. But as the company expanded, now boasting over 50 properties across 3 continents, Olivia felt a growing distance from the heart of his business. The quarterly reports were glowing, and the awards kept coming. Still, something inside him whispered that he was missing the real story. It was a conversation with his executive team that finally tipped the scales. "We're getting great feedback, Olivia," his CEO had said. "But do we really know what it's like for the people on the ground? For the guests, for the staff?" The question lingered. Olivia realized he hadn't spoken to a housekeeper in months, hadn't carried a guest's bag, or handled a room service tray since his early 20s. He'd become, in his own words, a ghost in a glass office. So, he made a decision. No cameras, no PR team, no boardroom briefings, just Olivia, undercover. As the newest bellman at the Grand Meridian's flagship property in New York City. Only the general manager, a trusted friend, knew the truth. The rest of the staff would see him as Oliver, a midlife career changer eager to learn the ropes. His first steps into the staff entrance were met with a flurry of activity. The employee hallway was a world apart from the lobby's grandeur, narrow and bustling, the air thick with the scent of coffee and laundry detergent. Olivia's heart pounded as he checked in at the time clock, his new ID badge clipped awkwardly to his lapel. "Hey, you must be the new guy," a voice called out. Olivia turned to see Anna, a petite housekeeper with kind eyes and a no-nonsense stride. She offered a quick handshake. "Stick with me, Oliver. First rule, never let a guest see you sweat." He smiled, grateful for the welcome. But inside, he was already feeling the pressure. The staff briefing was a blur of names, room numbers, and reminders about the day's VIP arrivals. The head bellman, Marcus, handed him a cart stacked with suitcases and gave him a crash course in elevator etiquette. "Always greet the guests by name if you know it. Never let a bag touch the ground. And whatever you do, don't block the penthouse elevator at noon." Olivia's first assignment was simple: deliver luggage to room 1702. But as he navigated the maze of hallways, he realized how little he understood about the daily grind. The cart was heavier than it looked, the elevator buttons confusing, and his hands shook as he tried to recall the guest's name from memory. When he finally knocked on the door, a harried mother answered, her toddler clinging to her leg. "You're late," she snapped. "We've been waiting for 20 minutes. He apologized, doing his best to smile, and set the bags down gently. As he left, he caught a glimpse of himself in the gilded hallway mirror, red-faced, sweating. And a far cry from the poised executive he was used to seeing. He felt a pang of embarrassment, but also a strange thrill. This was real. This was what his staff lived every day. Back in the service corridor, Olivia watched as Anna and another housekeeper, Mai, coordinated a last-minute room turnover. Their hands moved with lightning speed, changing linens, fluffing pillows, scrubbing the bathroom until it gleamed. Anna hummed a tune as she worked, pausing only to check her phone for a photo of her daughter. 10 years here, she told Olivia. And I still get nervous when the GM does his rounds. But I love making a room perfect. It's like a little gift for the next guest. Olivia listened, struck by the pride in her voice. He realized that for Anna and for so many others, the job was more than a paycheck, it was a calling. He watched as Liam, the night chef, prepped pastries for a wedding brunch. His brow furrowed in concentration. Katherine, the front desk agent, juggled phone calls and check-ins with a calm that belied the chaos behind the scenes. Throughout the day, Olivia witnessed the invisible choreography that kept the hotel running. He saw the teamwork, the quick handoff of a room key, the silent nod between bellmen as they navigated a crowded lobby, the shared laugh in the break room over a spilled tray of coffee. But he also saw the cracks, the tired eyes of a housekeeper finishing a double shift, the frustration when a guest's request was lost in translation, the quiet resignation when a manager brushed off a suggestion for improvement. By the end of his shift, Olivia's feet ached. His back was sore, and his uniform was rumpled. He made mistakes, delivered a bag to the wrong room, spilled ice water in the service elevator, forgotten to greet a VIP guest by name. But he'd also felt something he hadn't felt in years, a sense of purpose, a connection to the people who made his hotels more than just buildings. As he left through the staff entrance, Olivia paused to watch the sunset over the city skyline. The Grand Meridian's lights flickered on, one by one, illuminating the windows of rooms he now understood in a new way. He knew the real story of his hotel wasn't written in glossy brochures or 5-star reviews. It was written in the hands and hearts of people like Anna, Liam, and Katherine, people who brought luxury to life, one small act of service at a time. And as Olivia walked the 10 blocks home, blending into the crowd, he felt a quiet excitement building. Tomorrow, he'd be back, not as the CEO, but as a fellow worker, ready to discover what it truly meant to serve. The real work, he realized, was just beginning. Olivia Carter's second day on the job started before sunrise, the city still blanketed in a sleepy hush as he slipped through the staff entrance of the Grand Meridian. Gone was the tailored suit and polished confidence. In its place, the Navy bellman's uniform felt both foreign and oddly grounding. The air inside the service corridor was thick with the scent of industrial detergent and brewing coffee. A sharp contrast to the floral notes and soft piano music that filled the lobby just a few feet away. His first shift had been a blur of nerves and rookie mistakes. But today, Olivia was determined to do better. He'd spent the night replaying every detail, how he'd fumbled a guest's name, how Anna had quietly fixed his crooked tie before sending him out with a cart of luggage, how his feet had ached in ways he hadn't felt since his 20s. Now, as he clocked in, he felt a mix of dread and resolve. He was here to learn, not to lead. The morning briefing was brisk. Marcus, the head bellman, rattled off assignments with military precision. Oliver, you're on lobby duty with Anna. VIP check-ins start at 7:30. Don't forget the welcome amenities. Anna shot him an encouraging smile, and Olivia felt a surge of gratitude. He noticed the lines of fatigue around her eyes, the way she moved with practiced efficiency, never wasting a step. Their first task was to greet a family arriving from London, 3 suitcases, 2 sleepy children, and a harried mother juggling passports and a phone call. Olivia offered to help with the bags, but misjudged the weight and nearly tipped the cart. Anna swooped in, steadying it with one hand and distracting the kids with a joke about the hotel's rooftop pool. The mother barely noticed the mishap, but Olivia's cheeks burned with embarrassment. Anna leaned in, her voice low. Don't sweat it. Happens to everyone. Just smile and keep moving. By 9 a.m., the lobby was a whirl of arrivals and departures. Olivia watched as Anna greeted each guest by name, her tone shifting seamlessly from formal to friendly, depending on the situation. He tried to mimic her but stumbled over a guest's last name and received a curt correction. "It's pronounced Marshall, not Marshall." Olivia apologized, his smile faltering. Anna caught his eye and mouthed, "You're doing fine." He wasn't sure if she meant it, but the gesture steadied him. Mid-morning brought a new challenge, helping the housekeeping team turn over a suite for a VIP arrival. The room was sprawling, over 1,000 square feet of marble, silk, and glass. Anna introduced him to Mai, a housekeeper with a quick wit and a knack for folding towels into swans. "Just follow my lead," Mai said, handing him a fresh set of linens. Olivia fumbled the corners, but Mai was patient, showing him the trick to getting crisp hospital corners. "It's all in the wrist," she said, demonstrating. "And always check under the bed. You'd be surprised what people leave behind." As they worked, Mai shared stories about her family in Vietnam, how she sent money home each month, and how proud she was to work at the Grand Meridian. "It's not always easy," she admitted, "but I like making things beautiful for people. It feels good to know my work matters." Olivia listened, humbled by her dedication. After lunch, Olivia shadowed Katherine at the front desk. The lobby was buzzing, the temperature outside climbing to nearly 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Katherine handled a steady stream of guests with grace, fielding requests for extra pillows, late checkouts, and dinner reservations. Olivia tried to help but struggled with the computer system. When he accidentally double-booked a room, Katherine jumped in, smoothing things over with a calm apology and a complimentary drink voucher for the guest. "Don't worry," she whispered. "Everyone messes up their first week. The trick is to fix it before it becomes a problem." The afternoon brought its own set of hurdles. Olivia was assigned to help Liam in the kitchen, prepping hors d'oeuvres for a corporate banquet. The kitchen was a whirlwind of heat and motion, the air thick with the scent of garlic and butter. Liam, sleeves rolled up, moved with the confidence of someone who knew every inch of the space. "Here, slice these," he said, handing Olivia a pile of cucumbers. Olivia's knife skills were rusty, and his slices came out uneven. Liam grinned. "Don't worry. Chef will never notice once they're on the tray." They worked side by side, Liam sharing stories about his culinary school days and the pressure of running a kitchen that served over 500 guests a night. By the end of his shift, Olivia was exhausted. His back ached. His hands were raw, and his pride was bruised. But as he sat in the break room, eating a hastily made sandwich with Anna, Mai, Katherine, and Liam, he felt something shift. The conversation was easy. Jokes about demanding guests, stories about families, dreams for the future. Olivia realized he was no longer just observing, he was part of the team. He listened as Anna talked about saving for her daughter's college tuition. Mai described her hopes of bringing her parents to America. And Katherine confided her fears about balancing work and school. Liam shared his ambition to one day open his own restaurant. Each story was different, but all were bound by a common thread: resilience, hope, and a fierce pride in their work. As the sun set over the city, casting long shadows across the lobby, Olivia walked home with a new sense of purpose. He'd made mistakes, yes, but he'd also learned about the demands of the job, the strength of his team, and the quiet dignity of service. He knew there was still much to discover, but for the first time in years, he felt genuinely connected to the people who made his hotels great. Tomorrow, he would return, not as the CEO, but as Oliver, the bellman, the housekeeper, the kitchen hand. He was ready to listen, to learn, and to honor the stories that too often went unheard. And as he drifted off to sleep, Olivia Carter knew the fundamental transformation was just beginning. The hum of the Grand Meridian's service elevator faded as Olivia Carter stepped out, arms full of fresh linens. The clock on the wall read 7:12 a.m. But the back-of-house corridors were already alive with the quiet energy of a new day. Today, Olivia was assigned to housekeeping, a world he'd only glimpsed in passing, but never truly understood. The air was thick with the scent of detergent and coffee, and the distant clatter of breakfast trays echoed from the kitchen below. He took a breath, steadying himself for what he sensed would be a day of revelations. Anna, the housekeeper he'd met on his first shift, greeted him with a tired but genuine smile. "You ready for the morning rush, Oliver?" she asked, handing him a checklist. "We've got 12 checkouts and 6 stayovers on our floor before noon. Let's move." She moved with practiced efficiency, her 5'2" frame belying a strength that came from years of lifting, bending, and hustling through endless hallways. Olivia followed, learning the rhythm of the work, stripping beds, scrubbing bathrooms, replenishing towels, and checking every detail from the angle of the pillows to the shine on the bathroom faucet. Anna worked quickly, but she never cut corners. "We don't just clean," she explained. "We set the mood. A guest should feel like they're the first to ever step into this room." Her pride was evident, but so was her exhaustion. As they moved through the rooms, Anna shared pieces of her life, her daughter's school play, her worries about making rent if hours were cut, and her gratitude for coworkers who covered her shifts when her child was sick. Mid-morning, a call crackled over the radio. A VIP suite needed urgent attention. The previous guest had spilled red wine on the carpet, and the new arrival was expected in less than an hour. Anna and Olivia hustled to the 19th floor, where they found Mai, another housekeeper, already scrubbing furiously. "We'll need backup," Mai said, sweat beading on her brow. Together, the three of them worked in near silence, each knowing their role without a word. Olivia marveled at the seamless teamwork, the way Anna anticipated Mai's need for clean towels, the way Mai handed Olivia the stain remover without looking up. When they finished, the suite gleamed. The only evidence of the crisis was a faint scent of cleaning solution. As they rode the elevator back down, Anna let out a sigh. "Some days it feels like we're invisible. But when a guest smiles or leaves a thank you note, it makes it all worth it." Olivia nodded, feeling the truth of her words settles deep in his chest. Later, Olivia shadowed Katherine at the front desk. The lobby was a blur of arrivals, departures, and ringing phones. Katherine handled it all with a calm grace, her accent a gentle lilt as she switched between English and Spanish to help a family from Argentina. She juggled room assignments, answered questions about Broadway shows, and soothed a guest upset about a delayed room. "It's like air traffic control," she joked, flashing Olivia a quick grin. "Except if we mess up, someone's vacation is ruined." A guest approached, frustrated about a lost reservation. Katherine listened patiently, her posture open and attentive. She apologized, offered a complimentary drink at the bar, and personally escorted the guest to a newly prepared suite. As they walked back, Katherine confided, "People think we just smile and hand out keys. But it's about reading people, knowing when to push, when to listen, when to go the extra mile." Olivia watched her work, realizing that the front desk was as much about emotional intelligence as it was about logistics. Downstairs in the kitchen, Liam was prepping for a wedding banquet, a 200-guest affair that would stretch the team to its limits. The kitchen was a ballet of movement, chefs chopping, waiters running trays, dishwashers scrubbing at a furious pace. Liam, sleeves rolled up, called out orders and encouragement in equal measure. "We're out of fresh basil," someone shouted, without missing a beat. Liam sent a runner to the rooftop herb garden, improvising a new garnish in the meantime. Olivia helped plate hors d'oeuvres, his hands clumsy but his admiration growing with every minute. During a rare lull, Liam leaned against the counter, wiping sweat from his brow. "I used to dream of Michelin stars," he admitted. "But there's something special about this place. We're a family. We fight, we laugh, we pull off miracles every night." He glanced at Olivia. "You learn to trust the person next to you. That's how we get through the chaos." As the day wore on, Olivia witnessed countless small acts of kindness, Anna slipping a homemade cookie into a colleague's lunch bag. Katherine covering the front desk so a coworker could take a call from her child's school. Liam sharing a midnight snack with the security guard on the graveyard shift. He saw the toll the job took, aching backs, missed family dinners, the constant pressure to be perfect, but also the pride that came from a job well done. That evening, a sudden summer storm swept over the city, knocking out power to half the hotel. Instantly, the staff sprang into action. Housekeepers distributed flashlights. Maintenance raced to restore electricity, and Katherine reassured anxious guests in the candlelit lobby. Olivia found himself running towels to the fitness center, guided by Anna's calm instructions. In the chaos, no one complained. Instead, they supported each other, improvising solutions and sharing nervous laughter. When the lights flickered back on, a spontaneous cheer erupted from staff and guests alike. Olivia looked around at the faces, tired, sweaty, but triumphant. He realized that the true luxury of the Grand Meridian wasn't in the marble floors or the silk sheets, but in the people who made the impossible look effortless, day after day. As his shift ended, Olivia sat with Anna, Liam, and Katherine in the break room. They swapped stories, of demanding guests, of proud moments, of dreams for the future. Anna talked about saving for her daughter's college fund, Liam spoke about his hope to run his own kitchen someday, and Katherine talked about finishing her degree. Olivia listened, humbled and inspired. He saw their struggles, their resilience, and their unwavering commitment to each other and to the guests they served. Walking home under the city lights, Olivia felt changed. He'd come looking for flaws in the system, but what he found was a tapestry of humanity, messy, beautiful, and strong. The hidden stories of the Grand Meridian weren't about perfection but about heart. And he knew, with absolute certainty, that these stories were the proper foundation of every 5-star review, every loyal guest, every moment of magic behind the scenes. The sun was just beginning to rise over the city when Olivia Carter, still in his bellman's uniform, found himself standing in front of the Grand Meridian staff entrance, his heart pounding for reasons he couldn't quite name. He'd spent the last 2 weeks living another life, hauling luggage, folding linens, running errands, and listening to the hidden stories of Anna, Liam, Katherine, and dozens of others who made the hotel run. He'd felt exhaustion, pride, frustration, and camaraderie. But now, as the early morning light spilled across the marble floors and the first guests trickled into the lobby, Olivia knew the time had come for the truth to surface. He'd seen enough. He'd watched Anna hide her aching wrists and her worries about rent behind a determined smile. He'd seen Liam, the night chef, push through double shifts and missed birthdays to keep the kitchen humming. He'd witnessed Katherine's calm under pressure, even as she juggled demanding guests and late-night homework. And he'd seen the cracks, old equipment that broke down at the worst moments, schedules that left no room for family, and a culture that sometimes asked for too much and gave too little in return. Olivia's transformation was complete. He was no longer just an observer. He was a witness, and he was ready to act. That morning, the hotel's general manager, Mr. Bennett, called an all-staff meeting in the ballroom. The room, usually reserved for glittering galas and high-profile weddings, was filled with housekeepers in crisp uniforms, bellmen with polished shoes, chefs in white coats, and front desk agents in navy blazers. Olivia slipped in quietly, standing at the back, his heart pounding. Mr. Bennett began with the usual announcements, upcoming events, a reminder about the importance of 5-star reviews, and a brief nod to the team's hard work. Then he paused, glancing toward Olivia. "We have a special guest with us today," he said, his voice echoing off the chandeliers. "Someone who's been working among you these past weeks. Someone who has seen firsthand what it takes to make this hotel truly great." A ripple of confusion ran through the crowd as Olivia stepped forward, removing his cap. He felt every pair of eyes on him, Anna's wide with surprise, Liam's mouth slightly open, Katherine's hand frozen halfway to her notepad. My name is Olivia Carter, he said, his voice steady but thick with emotion. I am the CEO of the Meridian Luxury Hotel Group. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been here, working alongside you. I wanted to understand what this hotel really is, not from a report or a guest survey, but from your perspective. A stunned silence filled the room. Anna's hand flew to her mouth. Liam looked down, shaking his head in disbelief. Katherine's eyes glistened. Olivia continued, I've seen your dedication. I've seen your sacrifices. I've seen the pride you take in your work and the burdens you carry. I've seen how you support each other, how you make magic out of chaos. And how you never let the guests see the struggles behind the scenes. He paused, letting the words settle. But I've also seen the challenges. The outdated equipment. The impossible schedules. The moments when you're asked to give more than is fair. And I want you to know, I hear you. And I am going to do something about it. A murmur ran through the staff. Some looked relieved. Others skeptical. Olivia met their eyes one by one. Starting today, we're making changes. We're upgrading equipment and adding more staff, so no one has to skip lunch to finish their rooms. We're reviewing pay and benefits. We're starting a hardship fund for emergencies. And most importantly, I want your voices to be heard. We'll have regular town hall meetings. And I'll be here to listen. Anna stepped forward, her voice trembling. Does this mean things will really change? Or is this just for show? Olivia smiled, his own eyes misty. It's real, Anna. You and your team are the heart of this hotel. You deserve better, and I promise you'll get it. Liam clapped, and soon the room filled with applause. Katherine wiped a tear from her cheek. Then grinned. About time someone noticed, she said, and the staff laughed, a sound of relief, of hope breaking through. The changes didn't stop at the hotel. That afternoon, Olivia convened a meeting with his executive team at headquarters. He shared everything he'd learned, the stories, the struggles, the moments of pride and pain. We are not just a brand, he said firmly. We are people. And we need to treat our people with the same care we show our guests. He announced a new initiative. Every executive would spend 2 days a quarter working in the hotels, side by side with staff. Promotions would be based not just on sales but on leadership, teamwork, and compassion. Training would focus on respect, empathy, and the human side of hospitality. Some executives looked uneasy, others nodded, their faces thoughtful. Olivia didn't care. He was done with complacency. If you can't get behind this, he said, you're in the wrong company. Over the following weeks, the changes rippled through the Grand Meridian and beyond. New linens arrived. Break rooms were renovated, and schedules were adjusted to give staff more time with their families. Anna was promoted to housekeeping supervisor with a raise and flexible hours. Liam received funding to take culinary classes and lead new menu development. Katherine was given a scholarship to finish her degree and a mentorship with the hotel's management team. The culture shifted. Staff walked taller, laughed louder, and took pride in their work. Guests noticed the difference, too. Service felt warmer, more genuine, more human. 5-star reviews poured in. Not just for the amenities but for the people. One evening, as Olivia walked the halls, he saw Anna coaching a new housekeeper, her voice gentle and encouraging. He watched Liam teach a junior chef how to plate desserts with flair. He overheard Katherine helping a guest in 3 languages, her patience unwavering. Olivia realized that the absolute luxury of the Grand Meridian wasn't in the marble or the chandeliers. It was in the people, their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. He felt a surge of gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose. As he left the hotel that night, Olivia paused in the lobby, watching the staff move with confidence and pride. He knew the work wasn't finished. There would always be challenges, always more to do. But he also knew that, together, they had started something extraordinary. And for the first time in years, Olivia Carter felt not just like a CEO but like a leader. One who listened, who learned, and who would never again forget the people who made his hotels shine. The first day of spring arrived at the Grand Meridian with a gentle breeze and a sky so blue it seemed to promise new beginnings. The city was waking up. Taxis honked on the avenue. The sun glinted off the hotel's glass facade, and inside, the lobby glowed with the soft light of 1,000 bulbs. But something was different now. There was a new energy in the air. A quiet sense of pride that ran deeper than the marble floors or the gold accents on the elevator doors. Olivia Carter stood in the lobby, not as a bellman, not as a guest, but as himself, the CEO. It had been a month since he'd revealed his true identity to the staff, and the ripple effects of that moment were still being felt in every corner of the hotel. The changes he'd promised were underway: new linens, better break rooms, updated equipment, and most importantly, a culture shift that put people first. However, the most significant change wasn't in the amenities or the schedules. It was in the faces of the people who made the Grand Meridian what it was. Anna, now promoted to housekeeping supervisor, moved through the halls with a confidence that was impossible to miss. She greeted new hires with a warm smile, showing them how to fold towels with precision and care. She was the first to notice when someone was struggling, always ready with a word of encouragement or a helping hand. One afternoon, Olivia watched as Anna paused outside a guest room, listening to a young housekeeper confess her worries about a sick child at home. Anna put a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Family first," she said softly. "We'll cover your shift. Go take care of your little one." In the kitchen, Liam had become a mentor as much as a chef. With the support of a new scholarship from the hotel, he was taking culinary classes on his days off. But he never missed a chance to teach the younger cooks. Olivia saw him one evening, standing at the stainless steel counter, showing an apprentice how to glaze salmon just right. "It's not just about the recipe," Liam explained, his voice patient. "It's about putting your heart into it. That's what guests remember." The kitchen buzzed with laughter and the clatter of pans. But there was a new sense of teamwork, a sense that every plate sent out was a small act of pride. Katherine, too, had blossomed. With her tuition covered and a new mentorship in management, she was more than just the calm voice at the front desk. She was a leader in her own right, guiding the team through busy check-ins and late-night emergencies. Olivia noticed how she handled a difficult guest with grace, never losing her composure, then turned around and quietly helped a new colleague navigate the reservation system. "You'll get the hang of it," she whispered, her eyes kind. "We all started somewhere." The guests noticed the difference. 5-star reviews poured in. Not just for the amenities but for the warmth and sincerity of the staff. "Anna made us feel at home," one guest wrote. "Liam's food was the highlight of our trip. Katherine went above and beyond to help us with our lost luggage." The stories piled up, small moments of kindness, patience, and genuine care that set the Grand Meridian apart from every other luxury hotel in the city. Olivia spent his days walking the halls, stopping to chat with staff, listening to their stories and their ideas. He made it a point to eat lunch in the break room at least once a week, sharing sandwiches and laughter with the team. He listened as Anna talked about her daughter's first piano recital. Liam described his dream of opening a neighborhood bistro as Katherine shared her plans to bring her parents to America for graduation. These weren't just employees, they were family. One afternoon, Olivia called a staff meeting in the ballroom. The room was filled with sunlight, the chandeliers sparkling overhead. He stood at the front, looking out at the faces of the people who had changed his life. "I want to thank you all," he began, his voice steady but full of emotion. "Not just for your hard work, but for your heart. Thank you for your kindness to each other and to our guests. This hotel is more than a building, it's a community. And each of you is the reason we're the best in the business." He paused, letting the words settle. "I've learned more from you than you'll ever know. You've taught me that luxury isn't about marble or gold. It's about people." It's about respect and empathy and the little things we do for each other every day. Anna wiped a tear from her eye. Liam grinned, nudging the apprentice beside him. Katherine stood tall, her eyes shining with pride. Olivia continued, I want every guest who walks through our doors to feel what I feel when I'm with you, a sense of belonging, of being cared for, of being seen. That's the legacy I hope we build together. He ended with a call to action, not just for the staff, but for the guests, the community, and the entire industry. Let's remember that behind every luxury experience, people are making it possible. Let's honor their stories, their sacrifices, and their dreams. Let's build a world where kindness is the true measure of success. As the applause filled the ballroom, Olivia felt a sense of peace he hadn't known in years. He knew there would be challenges ahead, demanding guests, busy seasons, unexpected crises. But he also knew that together, they could face anything. That night, as the city lights twinkled outside his office window, Olivia wrote a letter to every employee in the hotel. He thanked them for their dedication, their resilience, and their courage. He promised to keep listening, to keep learning, and to keep fighting for a workplace where everyone felt valued. The Grand Meridian was no longer just a place of marble and chandeliers. It was a place of hope, of second chances, of dreams realized. And as Olivia Carter watched Anna hug her daughter in the lobby, as Liam high-fived a line cook after a busy dinner service, as Katherine handed a guest a tissue and a smile, he knew that the real legacy of the hotel would live on, not in profits or awards, but in the lives they touched every single day. And in that truth, Olivia found his greatest inspiration yet.